Yo, you waiting for the dramatic effect, bro. That's what you're waiting on. Hold on, let me lower this music real quick. Because I just had it on while I fix my situation over here, bro. Hold on, bro. Listen. No venga aquí a joder ahora, bro. Hace tiempo que yo no estoy en vivo y estamos. No venga a joder. No venga a joder. Ok. Ok, no venga a joder. I'm here. We here. Okay. No joda, bro. No joda. All right, here we go. Let's get this party. Listen, man, it takes a long time for some reason for me to get this go on and pop in these lives. So you never really see me on here too much because of that shit. Because it's a lot, bro. It's the internet connection. It's the whole situation, and it just sometimes it's worth it and sometimes it's not, bro. It is what it is. All right. Yo, that was like the only free reggaeton type music that I could find that I even was even passable that I wouldn't get a freaking like copyright strike while I do what I gotta do. You let me know. You got something better? Let me know. Let me know, bro. So it's crazy out here, man. But what's up, my people? We're back on here. We got some stuff to talk about. Let's just jump right into what we got going on. So all right, listen. Últimamente, you had this conversation, bro, about Xander Zayas versus Boots. Let's start off with that. Let's just jump right into the water. Let's start the whole ish about Xander Zayas versus Boots Ennis, whether it's gonna happen or not. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not, bro. Like I don't know if this fight is gonna happen. Pero parece que Xander Zayas está empujando para esa pelea, and it's an interesting fight. Porque muchos dicen, a lot of them are saying that Xander Zayas is not ready for Boots, right? That he's not ready for Boots. My stance on it is too late, right? It's too late for us to start thinking that Xander is too young, too soon, too this and too that for Boots. Why? Because you went ahead and made him now a unified champion at 154 pounds. Ahora es unificado. So once you're a champion unified, you can't say he's not ready for this guy and that guy. We can't start picking sides because not that he's not a champion, right? He's not a true champion. You can't say, he's not ready for this challenger. Like he's the champion. You can't say he's not ready for a challenger. You can't go that route. So no puede ir por esa avenida y decirle a él es un chamaquito todavía, que no puede joder con este todavía, pero es el campeón y el retador. Es el que tú dices que él no está ready. No se puede. We passed that already, right? We're gonna talk about Zan the front. And maybe I drop the link later at the end of all this front, so we could go ahead and have a call. And I'm gonna try that out. Maybe I don't know. But anyway, back to the point, right? So a lot of people are saying, it's too early for him, and I tend to agree. I think that Xander is too. Let me correct. I don't know if Xander will ever be ready for Boots. Let me explain. El talento de Boots es bien diferente al talento que tiene Xander, right? Las cosas físicas que tiene Xander y contra las cosas físicas y el talento que tiene Boots son diferentes. They're different tool bags that each one has, right? So the stuff, the attributes, the physicality, all of that stuff that Xander has is a lot different than what Boots brings to the table. It's a lot different, right? And one can say that Boots' talents, Boots' physicality would be too much for a lot of people. And I don't think that the physicality and the talents that Xander has right now, and I don't know if he'll develop any more going forward. You maybe think so. That will ever be enough to be a fighter like and as gifted like Boots Ennis. Is what I'm saying, right? Boots has the speed, Boots has the technique, Boots has the creativity in the ring, the footwork, and the power. Xander has a good chance of beating, I think. But actually, let me look up. Let me pull up my ish right here. Hold on. Let's go right here. Right. So we're gonna say all of this, right? So we're gonna talk about Eddie in a minute. We're gonna talk about Eddie in a minute because like in one of my videos that I did about Xander, I kind of talked about why I think also this is might be happening aside from Xander wanting it, right? But these are all like I was researching this, put it together, threw it up into ChatGPT, and said, make me a graphic based on this information I just gave you because I'm too lazy right now and I don't got the kind of time. If I use AI not to do art because real quick, I will never sell you nothing that as a merch that I didn't create. But if I'm gonna make a graphic based on information that I gathered, I ain't got the kind of time to put that shit together. So ChatGPT or Gemini will do that for me. And here's what it is, right? So let's start. Look. So the predictions at the time that I did this, it was a minus 235 and a plus 190 for Zayas, right? Eso quiere decir que todos los expertos del boxeo están diciendo que Ennis es demasiado para Zayas. So, right here they're telling you what the odds were. And it's all indicating at the time that I did this graphic, which was a few days ago, that Boots is the favorite. It's the heavy favorite. He's the older guy, more experienced. He has the better resume, to be honest with you. El resumen de Boots es mejor que el de Xander. No hay cuestión ninguna. Right? So, I mean, if you look at the facts right here, right? So there's a few. Jaron, and mind you, Boots is coming up to 154, right? That's not his lane. He's coming up to 154. So you got a former unified 147-pound champ, right? He's ambidextrous, right? So he can fight with either hand. He can hit you with either hand. He can switch, right? He has a lot of explosive power. So when he wants to, Boots can make you pay by being faster, more creative, giving you angles, and just cracking you with power. That's the kind of stuff that he has. That's the kind of stuff he brings to the ring, right? And he's very, like I said, he's very creative with his combinations. But the thing you want to see, la cosa que tú quieres entender es, can he cut off a very disciplined, traditional boxer like Xander Zayas? Because Xander is very traditional in the sense that he's a disciplined fighter. I think Xander doesn't have the talent naturally that a lot of fighters have. ¿Sabes? Xander no tiene los talentos naturalmente como tienen muchos de los boxeadores especiales. He doesn't have that. You can see it. What you can see with Xander, though, is that Xander is a very disciplined fighter. Todo lo que tiene Xander se lo ha ganado por el trabajo. So everything that he has is gained because of the work that he's put in. He has a great mind. He has a great work ethic, right? Now, he's built like a truck. Like he has an athletic build, but he doesn't have athletic creativity in his body. So he can't move like Ennis. He can't throw his punches from angles like Ennis. He doesn't have the power, explosion, and rhythm that Ennis Boots, has. So, but can Ennis cut him off, right? Can he cut off the disciplined fighter? Can he stop him from moving forward and himself cutting off the ring on Ennis, right? We're going to talk about in a minute, what I think Zayas could do in that instance, right? So, Xander right now, he's the current unified champ, right? He beat, I don't even remember what the Mexican fighter was his name that he beat. I wasn't impressed in that fight. I thought that fight was ugly. I thought that Xander looked scared in that fight. Well, not scared. I'm not going to say he was scared. That's a wrong word. I think he was nervous in that fight. Creo que tenía los nervios en la primera pelea que uno capturó el primer título. Xander se veía medio nervioso. Every time that guy got close, he held him. He clinched. I think before round 6, he had like 75 clinches. He looked bad. It didn't look like a good Xander. I say that's probably not the best Xander I ever seen up until that point. I think I had seen better Xander Zayas performances before that point. That guy was a nobody, to be honest with you. He wasn't anybody special. He wasn't anybody world class. He was just a guy who was in there for a fight. Okay. Along comes Barras. Also a guy that was not really on anybody's radar. Barras no estaba en el radar de nadie. And if they tell you that, oh yeah, Barras, no. Porque anterior de esa pelea, before that fight, you ain't hear nothing about Barras. Ninguno de los canales estaban reportando sobre Barras. Ninguno de los americanos o de los latinos estaban reportando sobre Barras. This was a fighter that they knew each other. right? So they knew each other, so that was what made the fight compelling. En cuando Barra le ganó a Tellez y lo destruyó, casi mente, ahí fue que todo el mundo, oh, sí, 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 él es bueno, he's good, he's good, he's good. But we didn't know that until that fight. Now, todavía, right now, we don't know how good Barras is, right? So we gotta watch Barras now going forward, right? Jumping ahead, can he make noise again after the loss to Xander? Then we'll know if he's good. If he goes on to lose 3 more times, then he know he wasn't that good to begin with, and maybe Tellez had an off night, or maybe Tellez isn't that good. That's what that means. But anyway, I'm getting off the point. Is Xander ready for this? Is a different kind of fight. This is an elite fight, right? This is the kind of fights that esta es una clase de pelea que se recuerdan cuando Felix Trinidad estaba subiendo en los rankings. Lo estaban moviendo a través de un nivel a otro nivel, a otro nivel, a otro nivel, right? With Felix, they were bringing him up. Like, once they started to ramp up his competition, it was like, this level, higher level, higher level, higher level, elite championship. That was the route for Felix. This didn't happen for Xander. This is not the way Xander came up, right? So is he ready, like I have here, for elite, right? That's the question. But I'm going to tell you how he can beat Boots. Hay una manera. García, gracias, Thomas. Había... Tellez might be basura. Había... There is a... No, nunca había. Hay una manera que Xander le puede ganar a Boots. Boots, cuando tira sus combinaciones, hay veces que él se queda admirando su mismo trabajo, ¿verdad? So te tira 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 y se queda ahí. Y la última pelea que él tuvo, se me olvidó el nombre, estoy blanqueando, pero la última pelea de Boots, tú viste que innecesariamente le estaban metiendo golpetazos porque se estaba quedando ahí mirando y velando después de las combinaciones. So Boots has a tendency, when he hits you with a 4, 5, 6 punch combination, he'll stand there and admire his own work. He won't get out the way fast enough. He kind of stands there, right? And then even in his last fight, he was getting smacked up a couple times with unnecessary punches because he freezes a little bit. Sometimes he like wakes up and gets out of there, but most times if you look at his fights, he kind of stands a little too long. Ahí que alguien disciplinado como Xander could take advantage. Y ahí que Xander puede coger la ventaja y hacer una pelea bien cerrada. Right? Because just because I'm saying that Boots hits harder than Xander, it doesn't mean Xander doesn't hit hard. You understand what I'm saying? So if Xander, while Boots is admiring his work, can then catch the last punch or two and then hit him while he's admiring, and it's a thing that even when he gets hit, Boots, he doesn't really kind of like correct it coming back out of the combination or coming back out of the round to the new round. He kind of doesn't correct that. Somebody like really, really fucking smart like Xander Zayas could take advantage of something like that, right? And if you catch him right, and also, just because Ennis is faster doesn't mean that those combinations all land. That's not what I'm saying. Porque Xander, la defensa de Xander es buena. He has good defense. When he puts up his hands, he can catch a lot of punches. So even maybe 1 or 2 will get by, but he probably catch a few. And once you stand there and he catches the last 1 or 2, and you're standing there as Boots Ennis and staring at your work, like what great work you just did, bing bang, and now you're in trouble. Porque él puede pegar. You know what I'm saying? He can hit. He can smack with those hands. It's just he's not a power puncher. He's not a devastating one-punch knockout guy. But if you stand there too long and you do that too many times, it could get a little bit interesting. So I think that's the key for Xander. But I still don't think that's enough. And I think that's what everybody's saying. Like, I don't think that's enough. Yes, you probably can't pick an elite fighter out of Boots' resume, but you could do the same for Xander. He doesn't have elite like competition either. but the tougher opposition has come to Ennis, and it's on his resume. Even though it was at 147, those guys in there that were pretty damn good at 147. Where I can't think of anybody really off the top of my head that I said, damn, they really moved up, Xander, and he took on a very big risk early. But now it's too late. He's a unified champion. You understand what I'm saying? So there's no turning back now. Boots needs the fight. Boots needs the fight, right? He needs an elite championship fight. If he forces the fight as a number one contender, there's nothing really we'll see. But again, so I feel like kind of like what I put down there as the verdict in that summary of analytics. Zayas is gonna look good for the first 3 rounds, like good, right? Not just good in between the shots. I think he's gonna look really good for like the first 3 or 4 rounds. But I think in between him looking good, I think you're gonna start seeing Boots setting traps, moving and giving him angles, and by the 5th round on up, you're gonna see Boots ramp it up when he notices that he can catch and he can touch and he can close the distance on Zayas whenever he wants to, and he could separate himself from Zayas when he wants to. And I think he'll start toying with Zayas after that. And don't be surprised if there's a late knockout about rounds 8 through 10, because I think that's how it can go for Xander. I'm not saying he can't win. I'm not saying this is an impossible thing for Xander, but it's definitely, I think, a taller task for Xander. I think it's a taller task for Xander to beat Boots than Boots beating Xander. Now look, I could be wrong. Oh, hold on. I gotta put my hand up because my camera's gonna start moving everywhere. It's a great fight. I'm saying, listen, prove me wrong. I want Xander to win. Yo quiero que Xander gane. Yo quiero que Xander venga ahí y gane esta pelea y lleve a Puerto Rico a otro nivel. Porque aparentemente con lo que están haciendo con Collazo no va para ningún lado. Right? So if they're not going to move Collazo anywhere and make him the idol of Puerto Rico, then we got to move on Zayas right now, because he's the one right now, actively being unified and being in the Super Bowl and being active and just being out there and being young. So then that's the guy, right? So that's the next Cotto, because he's not going to be a Trinidad, but he's going to, he can reach the levels of Cotto. So I want him to win. He has to fight the perfect fight. He has to be on his game. He has to. I mean, it's that kind of fight for me that I see for him. So that's what I'm saying. And like I said, I'm being very analytical about it, right? So I don't get my feelings caught up too much. So los sentimientos míos no están en estas peleas. Tú sabes, cuando yo escojo a alguien que va a ganar o perder, lo que sea, yo no estoy sentimental, no estoy con sentimiento que porque él es boricua yo tengo que estar ciego para todo. No. Yo te voy a decir analizando lo que yo he visto con el resumen, con las peleas, los tipos de oponentes que ha tenido en los resúmenes. And I make my decision based on analytics. I look at it and I take myself out of it, my background, my Puerto Rican side out of it, and I go, this is just 2 guys right now. Who's better? Who's better? Who's the better guy? Right? I'm not gonna say because he's Puerto Rican and I'm Puerto Rican and I was born in Rio Piedras that I need to root for this guy because he's from Puerto Rico. No, I want the Puerto Rican to win, but I'm gonna give you the honest answer. Right? That's how I see it. So right now, this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm seeing. Now I could. If the fight happens, I could change my mind. But this is how I got it, right? This is how I got it, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty. Let me see what you guys are saying in the comments. But anyway, let me know once this video is over and done. The comments down below. What do you think? Who do you think you got? What's gonna happen? But this is what I got right now today. Not saying that might not change. I got to see something else for me to change my mind. Let me know. Comment down below. All right, now let me check what's going on here. Vamos a ver. Yeah, Garcia's the guy. Don't forget that moving up to 54, the gloves change from 8 ounce to 10. Zayas has that in his corner. Boots not tested deep waters at 54. Yeah, that's true. So Boots has not, tested deep waters at 54. But Boots also big 147. You understand what I'm saying? Boots is long overdue going to 154. Kind of like I don't think that Zayas, even if Xander would have beat Boots, right? Even if Xander would have beat Boots, I think that right after that fight, Xander moves up no matter what. Matter of fact, win or lose, I think Xander goes to 160. Have you seen Xander? ¿Usted ha visto a Xander cuando le hace su pesaje en la noche antes? Él parece un esqueleto. He looks... Xander must be dropping like... To make 154, I'm telling you, Xander walks around 200 pounds. I don't care what he tells you. Xander pesa 200 libras y no está gordo. Xander is weighing 200 pounds and he's not fat. I think after that fight, especially if he wins it, especially if he wins the fight against Boots, he would move up right away. If he loses against Boots, the get back, if he does well, then he will probably stay at 154, maybe challenge another champion, get a title under his belt. Another title under his belt again, and then try to get unified again against Boots. But I think he moves up. Let me see what's going on here. Now, Santi, what do you mean no way? You don't think he could lose? You don't think that Xander could get beat by Boots Ennis? Come on now. Of course he can, man. Vende la patria. Yo, bro, come on now, bro. Yo vendo la patria, bro, for real? You think so? Let me see. Jose Rodriguez, what's up? What you mean in mismatch? Yo no mido a los hombres. Me va a dar carajo frontline. No venga con esa jodienda. Listen. First of all, mismatch. That's clickbait, papi. The mismatch part is the clickbait. But if you want to get technical, técnicamente el mismatch viene diciendo de que yo creo que no importa la edad, no importa el peso, yo creo que las cosas, los talentos físicos que tiene Boots siempre van a ser demasiado para Xander. That's how I feel. That no matter what weight, no matter where they're at, if they both would have been the same age, at the same time, I still think that the physical attributes that Boots has over Xander will be always too much trouble for Xander to overcome. I'm not saying that Xander can't win. Maybe you didn't hear that part. Maybe you rewind and you get to that point where I gave Xander the keys to victory, where he can win and how he can win. And he's smart enough to do that, but he will have to do that round in and round out, round in and round out. You understand? Frontline, you stupid, bro. He will have to do that round after round after round after round after round, and I don't see him staying that disciplined while you have a guy like Boots pressing the action. You understand what I'm saying? When you got a guy like Boots in your face, not letting you slide, not letting you breathe. Every time you switch up the game plan, he gets creative on you, and he can switch up on you left or right. It's a lot to deal with, man. And I don't know. I just don't see where Xander can make the adjustments enough to switch that up, because the footwork that Boots has also it's just amazing. And listen, and Boots is not being credited for the good body puncher that he is. He's an excellent body puncher, but nobody talks about that. So even if Xander makes it an inside fight, buyer beware. You know what I'm saying? Buyer beware. Nasante Zayas has the skill, no doubt. He has the skill set. He has the IQ, right? The skill set meaning he knows where to put it. Okay, let's define skill set for a second. Let's define skills for a second, because I think people confuse skills with physical and natural talent, right? Roy Jones Jr., right? Te voy a dar un ejemplo. Roy Jones Jr. is the most gifted, the most naturally gifted boxer anybody will ever see in their lifetime. I don't think anybody will be better naturally than Roy Jones Jr. His I don't care who you were. When Roy was at 168, there was no one in the world, present or past, that could beat him at 168. That was I don't care what you, and I don't care if we go 100 years in the future. You're not gonna find nobody that could beat Roy Jones naturally. Pero Roy Jones had no skill sets. He had no bag, right? No. I'm front line. Let's keep up, buddy. I'm explaining it, right? Roy Jones had no skill sets that he developed, right? Roy didn't have a jab. Roy didn't have an inside game. Roy, didn't have to develop, how to cut off the ring. Roy didn't have to develop any of that. Porque Roy, si él te quería darte dos puños por el lado de la cabeza, he would just do it. Roy could jump from half the way from the ring and hit you with an uppercut, and there was nothing you could do about it. You wouldn't even be able to see it. Roy just hit you with an eight-piece combination with a biscuit, and you wouldn't see it. But he didn't develop the skills that he needed for when he got older, and his athleticism, right, got slower. And when his athleticism got slower, Roy couldn't adapt to guys who could box, who had skills, who weren't as naturally gifted as him. Right? So, if you look at how he beat James Toney pillar to post. But who lasted longer? James Toney. Porque James Toney had amazing skill set. He just wasn't gifted like Roy. Now let's turn it back to Zayas. Zayas is a skilled, gifted, he's a skilled, very disciplined, very smart, athletic fighter. But natural gifts that Ennis has, Zayas doesn't have. And right now, prime for prime, Ennis's natural gifts are too much for Zayas's learned skill set. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the difference. Right? That's the difference. No, Jose, you could stick with him. I'm not saying don't stick with Xander because I want Xander to win. Maybe you missed that part, right? I want Xander to win porque yo dije anteriormente, I said it before, that if we're going to rock with Puerto Rico and try to get a new star, because like I was saying, Golden Boy ain't doing shit with Collazo. They're just leaving him down there 105 pounds and they ain't doing nothing with him. They ain't putting him out there. They ain't marketing him, nothing. They ain't even put him in the main event. So we got to rock with Xander because he's the one right now, right? So if he's the one, I want him to win. Pero yo voy a sacar, I'm going to take my emotions out of it. I'm going to take my emotions out of it, and I'm going to tell you that when I look at just the pureness of the resumes, the skill sets, the age, the quality of fights, you got to go, with Boots. It's not logical to pick Xander to unequivocally beat Boots. It's not. I don't think that's a thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we can't do that. Let's not disrespect Boots like that. But I'm giving Xander his props and saying he could win. And shit, come fight night, he could fight the perfect fight and give us, and make me shut up. But I don't think that's what would normally happen. Is what I'm trying to say. I think you got Boots beating him, and that's pretty much it. Let me see. What else? Did I miss something here? Yeah, Boots has the athleticism and Sam has the skill set. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Boots has the athleticism, but right now, they're young in their prime. As a matter of fact, I don't think Zayas has come into his prime yet, and Boots is dead in the middle of it. And I think that what Boots has right now, are too much for what Zayas has right now. You understand? Like he went to war with Barras. And let me ask you this. If you thinking, okay, let's put it like this. Does anybody here think that Barras and Boots go to war like Xander and Barras did? No. If you're really honest with yourself, Boots would not have a problem with Barras. I don't think it would be all that difficult for him to even stop Barras. You see what I'm saying? So when you say, it's a mythical matchup because we can't see it, but we know with our eyes, with the past opponents, we can kind of judge and say, yeah, I don't think Boots will struggle like Xander struggled against Barras. Then that's your answer. You know what I'm saying? There's your answer. Let me see. The problem with Pupilo is that nobody wants to fight him. Jerusalem Tadura both turned down unification. Ponte al dia, Baba. No, front line. Let me check you, my G. Let me check you for a second. Jerusalem, he wanted the fight. It was our guy Collazo that said no. He pulled out the fight because he thought the money that was on the table. I made a video about it. I did the research. And to make the video and the research really short right now, like a little cheat sheet, basically, Taduran and his team, Jerusalem, I think it was Jerusalem, right? Yeah, or Taduran. Damn it, now I'm confused with those two damn Filipinos. But either way, the ops team secured the bag early in the negotiations when there was more money on the table to be had, while Collazo's team kind of dropped the ball and didn't secure their bag. And when they went to closing, they wanted to get more money than the Filipino. And they were like, but they already secured the bag. You didn't. This is what's left over. You either fight for the unification or you don't. And he said, no, I'm not fighting for it. That's it. That's it. Let me see. Yes, because Abbas takes it to you. He'll have problems with Abbas. I don't know. You're wrong. Barra will give anybody problems 154. Yeah, he give a lot of people problems, but not Boots. Not Boots, bro. Not Boots. Bro, not Boots. Nah. Because he comes forward. Barras is a come forward kind of guy, right? Pressure, forward, moving on you, bam, bam, making it. That's what Boots wants you to do. Because Boots is so ready to pick you off, right? And move on you, bap, bap, and then like give you an angle and hit you this way, hit you that way, move you. He's not gonna stand squared up, kind of like what Xander was doing. Xander got caught up in the moment. Ennis is not gonna get caught up in the moment. I think Xander makes it competitive. What's up, Wiseman? I think Xander makes a competitive fight and gives him problems until Boots takes over the fight and finishes it. That's how I'm feeling, Wiseman. That's what I'm feeling. I'm taking my feelings out of it as a Puerto Rican, and I'm telling you this is what I'm feeling. What's it here? No, and frontline, nah, man. No, Jerusalem secured the bag already. So there was money put up by the zone and everybody else. That Jerusalem's team already secured the bag prior. They negotiated their section. Their stuff. Signed, sealed, delivered. Boom. When it came down, eventually when Collazo's team got around to it, they were like, wait, what's this? Like, I don't understand. So after like all of that negotiation, what was left out of the purse, that's what he was tasked with. But here's my thing. He already beat Jerusalem one time. He should have just... I know it's easy for me to say. I'm not in the ring. But bro, at this point, take like bet on yourself. Take the fucking shit, right? Take the fight. Make it a short night. It was still going to be more money than he got the first time he fought Jerusalem. But just not more than Jerusalem. Take the fucking money, bro. Beat this guy. Get out the way. 3, go to Taduran. 4, you wasting your time at 105 pounds. Yo, Collazo is not a young spring chicken, bro. He's starting to get up there. And it's that peso mínimo. You know what I'm saying? So what the fuck we doing with that? Like, get out of the minimum weight already. You got to move up, bro. You're wasting your time there, bro. Bro, let me see. Collazo doesn't work. Yeah. I was just answering frontline, Jose. Let me see. Bro, Collazo KO Jerusalem. What are we talking about? Bro, Jose, it's the fact that I made a video about it. It's not that he's worth more or less. It's that Collazo's team dropped the ball and didn't come to the negotiating table in time. When the purse bid, all that was happening, they secured the bag that was bigger. They secured the guarantee, and Collazo's didn't. What was left over, they didn't want, so they didn't take the fight. The fight was signed, sealed, delivered, like pretty much. Last minute, Collazo's team said, nah, we want more money. And Jerusalem said, why would I, once I secured the bag, why would I give up more when I know you beat me already before? Now my team already did the work. So that's what happened. As he gifted, as he's Xander shocking the world, I see Boots underestimating him trying to come back in the late rounds, almost being too late. Damn, I've never seen Boots take anybody lightly. I've seen Boots fall asleep looking at his own work and get kind of, pat 1-2, snuffed here and there. And that's where I think Xander could win the fighting or make it close. But I've never seen Boots underestimate anybody. So he gets in the ring with a two-time world unified champion. Like he's basically two-time because he won the title twice already. He's unified. I don't think Boots is going in there in New York or Puerto Rico, but more likely New York, underestimating a guy in that kind of crowd. I don't see that happening, bro. I don't see that happening. Adam Hurley. No, the fight is not yet. It's more of a fantasy fight that's being thrown around. I'm gonna get to it why I think it's going around. Hold on. Not yet. Rom Squad, nah, you're right. He's almost 6 foot. He definitely drained. Yo, Rom Squad, it's crazy. That kid is big, bro. Pause. Like, he's a huge kid, and for him to squeeze down to 154, win or lose or draw, he's moving up, bro. Especially if he wins, he's getting the fuck out of there. He's getting the hell out of 154. He ain't gonna stick around 154. I'm telling you that shit right now. You know what I mean? Like, he gonna move up straight. Like, bro, he has to squeeze down to that shit, bro. It's easy. It's not easy. That boy walk around 200. I'm trying to tell you, he's not. He ain't gonna be there, bro. Yo, I'm getting thirsty. You know who underestimates something all the time? Me. I always underestimate how thirsty I get. Pause in these fucking goddamn lives talking this much shit with y'all. Thirsty as fuck. I finished, and you know what? Don't drink cola while you're doing a live, because then that shit don't even quench your thirst, bro. You just gonna be here fucking frothing out the mouth. So, all right. So, for now, we're gonna talk. All right, we want to move on now to Fondora. We're gonna talk about that because y'all wilding out there. Y'all wilding out there at the polls, bro. Y'all wild busy. First of all, wait. You know what? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the weigh-in. Let's talk about Sebastian. Let's move on. Let's take a look at the weigh-in. Let's take a look at the weigh-in. Look at Keith, boy. Oh boy, shit, my man Keith. Stop playing with Keith, boy. All right, so let's take a look at the weigh-in and see what this look like. Shout out to Fight Hub.
One-time Thurman.
Nope, we're not gonna do that.
Evening, and this bout is brought to you by Samson Boxing and TGB Promotions, and of course sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Let's bring our fighters to the stage at this time.
Hit that
main event of the evening. First presenting the challenge. So many years, he is the challenger. Please welcome the former unified welterweight champion of the world, Keith One-Time Thurman.
Yo, can we get a petition going for Keith just to let that hair go, dog? Like, can we yo, Keith is just holding on, bro, to them strands. Yo, why they got? Oh, he chopping down the tree. That's what they got the axes out there. Yo, Keith is the smartest, corniest nerd I've ever seen in my life. I love Keith, bro.
To the scale first.
When Keith is gone, we're gonna miss him, bro. When Keith is gone, we're gonna miss him. Look, he holding on to that fuzz. Yo, at this point, bro, just get the plugs, man. That forehead looked like a tsunami's coming. Like, you know how when the tsunami's about to come and shit, the water
we
recedes
invite
and
the
shit.
defending
That's what it
world
looked like.
champion to the stage at this time. From Coach.
All right, we got.
Here's the defending WBC super welterweight champion of the world, the towering inferno, Sebastian.
Yo, who's your twin, Ron? We talking about
Fondora.
And we're gonna talk about Fondora and his height and his weight and all of that. Yo, that whole family.
Gentlemen, let's bring our fighters to the scale for the main event. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Super Welterweight Championship of the World. The weight limit on this fight is a very strict 154 pounds. First to the scale, we have the challenger. The renowned challenger with a record of 31 wins, only one defeat, and 23 wins coming by way of knockout. Once again, please welcome the former unified welterweight champion of the world, Keith one-time Thurman.
Yo, Keith looking shit. God damn, Keith. God damn.
152.6 pounds, a trim and ready. 152.6 pounds for the challenger.
I haven't seen this, by the way. Oh, your hair.
And now we invite the reigning champion to the scale and rising star of boxing. He holds a record of 23 wins, 1 loss and 1 draw, with 15 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the reigning and defending WBC Super Welterweight champion of the world, the towering Inferno, Sebastian Fundora.
Yo, look at Fundora, dog. Yo, look at Fundora's right bicep. That shit look weird, don't it? Look.
153.6 pounds, 153.6 for the defending world champion.
Wait, hold on. I missed his weight. Hold on. Let me see. Let me look at that shit again. First of all. No, I want to hear the weigh-in. Yo, am I
3.6 for the defending world.
Hold on.
153.6 pounds, 153.6 for the defending world champion.
All right. So everybody may wait. They go to Fundora's. That family's crazy, dog. Yo, Keith's looking shape, though, bro. Yo, will you look at this? Would you look at this? Mira. Papo, that's a tall task. Yo, look at that right bicep on Fundora, though. What's good with that? What's good with that, bro?
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. It's the PBC pay-per-view main event of the evening. 12 rounds for the WBC Super Welterweight Championship of the World. The towering Inferno, Sebastian Fundora.
It's going to be a problem, bro, for Keith tomorrow.
Once again, let's...
When it comes to fight weeks, you've been around a while. What excites you about this one?
I mean, you already know. I mean, this is Las Vegas. This is pay-per-view. This is for the world title. Great champion. Just another great night of boxing, a great historic night with your man Keith one-time Thurman, man. I love boxing. I love being here. And yeah, I'm just excited. I hope you are too.
What keeps that fire burning?
Just love, just passion. That's what I've been telling everybody, man. I don't know. It's so easy to say I love something that
keep.
This is timber. It's happening. He going down.
This is
flashbacks.
This is timber.
I'm feeling that energy, and this is your first fight back in Las Vegas in 4 years. And fun fact, my first boxing match ever that I worked was you versus Guerrero. So it's kind of a full circle moment right here. Is there any last message you want to send to Fundora?
He already knows. He's going to feel it, man. He's going to feel it. Y'all want to know what I'm
timber.
Easy work. Chop them down like wood, baby. Look at them bricks. Look at the little sticks. Stick legs, stick arms, light chin. Easy work. I promise you.
I promise you.
I promise you can love him.
Look at Fundora. He just
Sebastian,
laughing. Look.
I think it's apparent that you and Keith have very different personalities.
Yo, why would you have?
You're very calm and composed.
Okay,
at this point, is that part of your edge?
I don't know. That's just how I am.
I want to get Fundora my taxes.
I let all my talking be in the ring with my hands.
Tomorrow, you're going to step in the ring versus Keith Thurman. And on paper, he is your toughest opponent yet. What gives you the most confidence going into this fight?
It's because of me. You know, I'm confident in what I have. I'm confident in what I've been doing, you know.
He ain't selling shit. Yo, actually, hold on. Where is it at? I'm gonna add. Hold on. I'm gonna. You see that QR code in the upper right? Well, it'll be left. And I pay that's the my PayPal. I got Cash App, but I'm too lazy to put it up. But anybody want to donate to the stream to me? By the way, I am working on the studio, bro. I'm trying to. So this is Christmas lights and shit back here. Like eventually gonna go away. I worked on a new logo. I got some stuff cooking up. I want to upgrade the situation a little better. Pero carajo, puñeta, esas cosas valen, ¿sabes? Son cara, pana, son cara. But Riquitone, what's up, bro? Yo, the PayPal's right there. Did y'all see it? Well, your chat is a little bit delayed when I see it, but yeah. So let me fix myself a little bit over here. Hold on. Let me delete this scene up out of here. Yeah. So let's look at this one real quick. Boom. There we go. Look at that. Professional. First of all, let's talk about that bicep. I did not notice Fondora's bicep. That shit looks retarded, bro. I don't know what the fuck going on over there. And mind you, it's Keith that had his whole bicep detached. We're gonna talk about that too, though. Vamos a hablar sobre eso también. Yo, the poor music is still playing. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Leave my adult music up, bro. You a hater, bro. You just damn, bro. Can't do shit with Frontline here, bro. Always talking shit. Anyway, déjate de vender no, vender periquito no se puede, pana, no se puede. Déjate quieto. Listen. All right, look. Look at my nice notes that I had ChatGPT put together for me. It even put pictures up for me. I was like, oh shit, you took everything I put on there. You made it look good. Anyway, Meta. So, bro, okay. I'm gonna give you one. If you're a Thurman supporter and you're saying Thurman's gonna win, I'm gonna show you how it is and why. Right. Wait, you talking about Frontline? Before I get onto this, you talking about Fondora just had bicep surgery or Thurman? I know Thurman did. His shit got detached, and he had to get that fixed. Fondora, I never heard him getting any bicep surgery. Did he? But anyway, let's get back real quick. Look at Keith Thurman's height. Right, it says 5'9" and a half, 69-inch reach. Right. The reason that's important is because the guy who put Fondora to sleep, right? That I forgot his name, man. Listen, bro. I promise you that I know boxing better than I'm bad with names, even at my job, bro. I got employees whose names I forget. Oh shit. Okay, that makes sense. Frontline. Oh, damn. But when did he have that surgery? From Frontline, put it in the chat. So I'll look down in a minute. The guy who put Fondura to sleep is 5'10" with a 70-inch reach. Keith Thurman is basically the same stature, right? Height and reach. Keith Thurman hits harder than that dude. Keith Thurman has had a billion more championship fights than that dude. So if you want to hang your hat on anything that, you know what I mean, that Fundora loses to Keith, it's that he's a better version of the guy who knocked him out. I give you that. Oh shit! Hold on, bro. It went over. Why I went over? See, y'all, man. Y'all, hold on, man. Yeah, you're right, dog. I can't be. Shit, bro. Right there's the PayPal, and there's the QR code right over there. Someone scan it. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I really do. I really am trying to get this shit going. And I'll talk about that a little bit after this breakdown. But again, if you want to hang your hat on anything, if you want to hang your hat on what and how Fundora will lose to Keith Thurman, it's the fact that Keith is a 100 times better version than the guy who knocked him out. Where the bad news, is that Fundora was slapping that dude around until that punch that he got caught. He just got caught. That's all it was. He just got caught. That's all it was. That's all it was. He got caught and he got put to sleep. And that's pretty much it. Now, Keith, all right, look, Keith has had 5 fights, and my bad, I put 2 fights that 2 losses. He's not 3-2. He's 3-1. Um, Keith, his inactivity. So Keith has had 3 surgeries on his arms. 2 on the right arm, which is his power hand. He has had an elbow surgery, and he's had a detached bicep on his right arm. So él se rajó el brazo casi entero. And when you do that, now let me explain to you what this is important. When you detach your bicep off your arm and they put it back, you're never the same power wise. You lose power. It's automatic. It's not even a question. You never come back 100%. You lose about 30% of your power in your arm. Right? So I give you an example. I work in the healthcare business. I get to talk to a lot of physical therapists, surgeons, and all of that stuff. And in recent days, I was talking to some physical therapists sports physical therapists who work on athletes. And I asked them about this specific injury. And I said, Thurman's fighting this weekend and he's a boxer and he had that kind of injury. Will that affect his power because he's known for power? He said, absolutely. He cannot, he said, no matter what happens, he cannot hit as hard as he used to with that arm. Now, you will have to hope that he hits harder 30%, 70% of himself than the guy who knocked out Fundora. That's your hope. That's number one. So that's number one. Number two, the elbow. So I got tennis elbow. Haven't had surgery for it. I'm gonna assume that he had tennis elbow also, right? That's when the pocket you have a little sac of like fluid in your elbows and that gets inflamed. And when it does, you can't hold your arms like this for too long, or you can't carry somebody. Like if you like my daughters, I couldn't carry them for too long. Like maybe a minute to 2 minutes, because 10, 15 pounds of pressure putting down on my elbow made it hurt bad. I can't carry like a bucket for too long full of water because eventually my elbow starts to burn both of them because I just got bad genetics. But that's beside the point. But you can get surgery to rectify that. But your range of motion starts to suffer. You feel me? So you have couple that with the 3 surgeries and a shoulder injury on the left hand and the left side at 37 years old, fighting once every 2.5 years. This will be almost a year now. It will be over a year since his last fight for Thurman. It was 2.5 before his last fight before. And he's had surgeries in between and he's 37 years old. If you want to put money on him to win, that's on you. You can always donate it to me, what you want to bet on Thurman. Donate it to me on PayPal. You see it right there on the screen, the QR code. And if you want to go to actually, put some money where I actually would do something for the things you enjoy, then do that instead of putting it on Thurman because it ain't going to go back to your pocket. It's just going to, listen. So let's go back now to Fundora. Fundora has a 6.5 feet tall. Let's say 6'6", 80-inch reach, bro. He's 27. He's in his prime, right? He's active, and he's been at 154. And he can fight on the inside, bro. He doesn't like to fight on the outside too much. He doesn't fight tall. He doesn't fight lengthy. He fights on the inside. He likes to go to the body, dig to the body. So when he does expect punches, when he sees the punches coming and he gets hurt, a.k.a. with Lubin, he ruined Lubin, by the way. Lubin's not a scrub. He got ruined by Fundora. And I thought Fundora ruined him, but he didn't. When he went down with Lubin, one of the best fights I've ever seen of recent memory. God, I love that fight. Fundora got up, right? Like he knew he was hurt. He got right back up. Those punches, he was in exchanges. He knew something was coming back against the other dude. Again, I forget his name, who knocked him out. He didn't see it. He caught him cold. So I would bet that the strategy is for him to go forward, pressing Thurman. And what does Thurman hate to get done to him in a fight? If y'all remember, what anybody in the chat remember what Thurman's kryptonite? If Thurman is Superman, let's talk comic books for a second. Vamos a hablar cómics ahora mismo. Vamos a hablar Superman, Kryptonite, right? Kryptonite makes Superman weak. You know, what is Thurman's weakness? Can anybody in the chat put it down there? We all seen it. And if nobody puts it down, I'll let you know in a second. I'll let you know in a second. And you're going to go, oh, yeah, shit, that's right. Because Thurman has almost been stopped at least, what, 3 times before, I want to say. But his intellect, when he was in his prime, kind of got him out of it. But what is his kryptonite? Come on. I know y'all can get it. Come on, somebody. Somebody in the chat, tell me what is Keith Thurman's kryptonite. Remember, Sebastian Fundora, he likes to fight on the inside, and he has a wicked inside game. ¿Qué es la kryptonita? Is that how you say it in Spanish? Kryptonita? Right? Kryptonite? I don't know. But what's his kryptonite? Because he has a weakness. And he's always shown it. And every time it happens, yeah, you'll be like, there it is. Now, see, I don't see. I don't know. You guys are searching through the archives. I'm gonna let you know right now, and you're gonna go, "Oh shit, yeah, that's right. That is what his weakness is." Keith Thurman has almost been stopped. There you. Oh, hold on. If I had a contest, right there, body shots. Keith Thurman cannot withstand body shots. Keith Thurman cannot withstand body shots. They are his kryptonite. No, I said, no, Frontline. I said he almost and got out of it because he was in his prime and he's a great fighter. Josecito Lopez almost knocked him out to the body. I believe Manny Pacquiao had him squirming, and I think who else had him squirming to the body? He can't take body shots. And that was with people that was on his level height-wise. You know what Fundora has besides the inside game? Right? What the advantage is of being 6'6", 80-inch reach, and having an inside game. You know what makes it an advantage? You know what that creates? I'm gonna tell you right now what that creates. That creates leverage, right? Leverage. Para explicarle lo que es leverage or esa ventaja, I don't know how to say it in Spanish, so you're gonna have to deal with me. Pero leverage is like, for instance, you can move something real heavy if you put a pipe under it that's really long, pause, and you get at the end of it and you pull down on it, you can move a heavy ass rock that you can't move with your own arms because you're using leverage, right? The longer it is, pause, the more leverage you have for the energy to distribute to the end of that fucking pipe for you to move that goddamn rock, right? The longer something is, pause, the more travel time it has. So the meaning the more energy it picks up. So by the time it gets to its destination, there's more power at the end of it. You're fucking 6'6". You're fighting on the inside. You're throwing uppercuts from back here. 80 inches are swaying upwards to the body and to your jaw from the inside. When they meet their destination, it's havoc. Lubin looked like Martin from the Martin show. If y'all remember that show Martin when he fought Hagler. Tommy. I think it was Tommy Hearns. When he fought Hearns, and he was all lumped up because of the leverage. Fundora is not a power puncher. He has leverage, which gives him power. Now you couple that shit with the weak body at 37 years old, 3 surgeries, 2 on the same power hand, and you want to put your money on that? Yo, I said pause, my man. Then what I'm telling you is you're not. Listen, it's boxing. Anything can happen. We've seen it with Fundora. We've seen him be winning a fight and get knocked out. So we're not talking about that. We're not saying that it's impossible for Fundora to win. But what I'm saying is that you're gonna have a hard time, pause, getting Thurman to make Fundora respect him. You saw what happened in the rematch with Zoo. Made him quit, bro. In his own country. Because those punches come with leverage. That's all I'm saying. So if you look at the key advantages for Fundora and what makes him win, like I said before, relentless volume. He's in his prime. He's athletic, 11-inch reach, and he overwhelms a dangerous inactive veteran Thurman, went up to 154 pounds. This is Thurman coming up in weight. Up in weight. He thinks he's Errol Spence, no tune-ups. Bro, man, bro, I would have had a tomato can to take the ring rust off before I go into Fundora. If I moving up to 154, had 3 surgeries and coming off a year plus layoff, and I'm 37 years old. That's crazy work. That's crazy work, my guy. Eso demasiado. You're not winning, bro. I mean, I concede that yes, things can happen, pero de verdad, bro, it's too you got, bro, you got. I don't know. I don't know. But look, let me go to something else real quick. I want to share something with you guys, and then because I like to bring receipts to everything, bro. I just don't like to just, you know what I mean. Um, I like to show y'all when I'm talking shit what the shit it is that I'm talking about. So hold on, I'm gonna share screen real quick. No, oh shit, invite a guest my ass. Oh, hold on. Come on, what the hell? Oh, right here. Yo, why am I not? No, what? No, what the fuck is going on? Hold on. Ah, ya se volvió esta jodida chipe. ¿Qué pasa? Oh, I see what's going on. All right. Share screen. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I got it now. I got it now. I got it now. Boom. All right, bro. Look, let me show you. Yeah, if you guys are not, if you're not, like 100% believing me, look at that. Look at what it says. Boxing on rap, 79.1. Basically, let's call it 80%, bro. I got a better, I got a better pick percentage than Teddy Atlas, bro. I'm 39 and 34 and 9. It should be 35 because I forgot to predict the Murataya fight and I picked Murataya. I got 2 by perfect decision, meaning I picked a round that I got knocked out in or decision, and I got 8 decisions, right? Look, bro, look. And right here, Parrilla versus Cruz, it was Cotto right there. Abisael Cotto, that maricon. Him losing made me lose my perfect right here. Look at all of the cards I've picked so far, right? Matias me mató aquí. Matias made me lose right here. Or that would have been 4. This one was a bad night for me, right here. Teofimo in the ring, right? Look. But look. Barrao, 5 out of 6. Night of Champions, 1 of 1. Barrios and Garcia, 3 of 5. Pro Box, 4 of 4. Barbosa, 9 of 9, bro. Parrilla, 3 of 4. And Pro Box, 4 of 4. Bro, I'm on a win. Listen. And I got some other ones. I don't know. I don't know. I also picked on the fights this weekend. And tonight there's fights. And tomorrow there's fights. And I picked on both cards. So listen, if you want to put your money somewhere else and you want to bet, that's fine. That's up to you, bro. But I'm showing you receipts, bro. That's my pick. These are my picks right here. So listen, this could go south real fucking quick. Like I could start picking bullshit. Bro, go. All right, let me see what's going on because I haven't been looking at the comments. All right, here we go. This long layoff for Thurman could be a benefit because he just went through full camp without injury. That's true. He had, but remember he pulled out the last one because of one. So you're right, but that shit takes that takes a lot of it out of you though. Like going through a camp and not fighting, and then getting an injury, getting a surgery, then coming back. I mean, it's still a lot. 80 inch is crazy. That's almost 7 feet, bro. It is. That is nasty work. 4 foot shy of 7 feet, 4 inches shy. Yeah, he's bro. He's a big tall kid. We're talking about Thurman has one load. Yeah, he's never been stopped. Almost doesn't count. Only in hand grenades and horseshoe. Koto looked like those zombies in Philly stuck midair. Bro, let me tell you something. Um, let me tell you something. Abisael Koto, I was never really sold on him anyway, to be honest with you. And you can see my older videos. I said he got good skill sets, but it was something about him I never really like. It was almost as if I'm gonna tell you what it is. I describe Abisael Koto like a wannabe, like kind of Roy Jones Jr. ish type fighter, and he always looked like he was laughing in the ring. I think Abisael Koto thought he was better than he really was, right? So in that fight, you could see it. He was kind of winning the fight, but getting caught too. Like he was getting, you could see it. You could see the knockout coming. And I'm like, bro, what is happening? Like, what on paper, analytically, like I did, he should have beat that guy. That guy was the older guy. This is it's almost like Thurman. But the other Boricua was a journeyman, was a this, that, and the other, and he took it serious. Whereas you could see Abisael Cotto was kind of like just not taking things serious. He looks like he fights like he's better than the other guy, heads and shoulders above. Pero en realidad, la calidad de talento que tiene Abisael Cotto es como mimicando, like it's a mimic. I don't think he has his own identity. He's like mimicking Roy Jones a little bit or somebody like that, or maybe Boots. I don't know, but he doesn't look like he's himself, and he thinks that because he's athletic that he can get away like he's better. And so when he got caught, it was just, bro, you fucked up my picks, bro. Like I was mad, like But I never was sold on him though. I never looked at him and said, yo, I think he's gonna be a breakout star. Never. I blame that. Let me see. Universal Promotions on how they move their fighters. Same happened to Juancito Sayas. Yeah, yeah. I've been real critical of Universal. But if they ever want to do a sponsorship and have me call one of their fights, I will. Pero yeah, I ain't shit. But anyway, yeah, the leaving your fighters in Puerto Rico syndrome is a dangerous one. It's a dangerous one because you're not getting the best sparring, you're not getting the best fighters out there. You're not getting the talent out. You're wasting their years in Puerto Rico. And look, mira, si a ti no te gusta mezclar y tirar cemento en Puerto Rico y tú puedes hacer lo mismo que tú puedes, un sueldo que es comparablemente lo mismo boxeando que tirando cemento y te gusta más boxear, nada más en Puerto Rico, bueno, that's it. You know what I'm saying? What I just said was, if you like laying down cement and mixing cement in Puerto Rico, I mean, if you did that, but you don't like it, but you would make the same amount of money in Puerto Rico boxing and winning a little bit here and there and staying in Puerto Rico for the rest of your life and just boxing there, then by all means do that. But if you want to be a actual superstar, you can't stay in Puerto Rico. You can't. You got to get the hell out of there. You got to get the fuck out. Like that's just what it is. You can't stay in there. You definitely got to get out of Puerto Rico. You definitely can't stay in there. And Universal Promotions, I like the fact that they won the zone the last time. So maybe that's a new thing they're gonna keep doing. They will, like on the zone, fighting on the zone. So hopefully that keeps going. But realidad, they gotta get this shit together, bro. They gotta get it together. But yeah, I mean, look, man, I'm gonna call it a night. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna try to call the Thurman fight tomorrow. Um, maybe frontline we could show up and we could have a call in real quick. I'll give you the link tomorrow. We could just talk shit on the stream if you're gonna be watching. I'm gonna try to. And whoever else might be on at that time, we could maybe do a multi-panel. I don't know. We'll work it out. I have no idea. We're just swinging it. Thank you for those who donated today. I really appreciate it. Thank you everybody for showing up and showing out. Listen, guys, it's been great. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And look, again, I'm 39 and 8. I got a 79% pick rate. Do what you will with your